Buenos dias. I'm Gypsy and this is Broken Dolly TV. We're gonna do this celebrity edition of our Sculpt Study series once again. I already have a previous episode that you guys can go and watch and a full playlist with all of my Sculpt Study videos together in one place. That's going to be linked in the description box and also at the end of this video if you want to go and check those videos out as well. I'm going to start this video off with my bonus face here. This is not a Barbie brand doll. The head is actually an Integrity Toys doll. And I call her Polly, but this is the RuPaul face from Integrity Toys Fashion Royalty. And this doll's head was given to me by my dolly friend, Alfonso. He actually rerouted this doll, so her original hair looked different than how this doll's hair is looking. And Polly is on a made to move yellow top yoga doll's body, one of the OGs of the made to move series, y'all. I just wanted to add her in because this is a celebrity's face sculpt that I have in my collection, even though it's not a Barbie brand, and I just thought it would be fun to take a look at it just to explore face sculpts from other brands as well. I think that Integrity has more than one version of RuPaul's face. RuPaul, if you don't know who RuPaul is a supermodel who is, I don't know if we would consider, is RuPaul considered a trans person? Like, I don't know. He does cross dress. Sometimes he dresses like a man and sometimes he dresses like a woman. Sometimes he's in his man face and sometimes he's in his girl face. And he switches up when he feels like it. So in this form of RuPaul, this is when RuPaul is, you know, in his girl face, I guess. And if you guys ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race, that show is hosted by RuPaul. Obviously, it's named after RuPaul. And he's just a very iconic model / TV personality in the United States, if you're not familiar with him. He's got a very out there personality, very confident person. We love to see it. Alfonso happened to send me one, and I love her. In my collection, this is not RuPaul, as I stated earlier. I call her Polly, and she's her own separate character in person. I don't know, I think it's on point. And I love the makeup look too. It's very like over the top without looking drag queen-esque, which drag queen makeup is not everyday makeup that you're just gonna be like walking around down the street wearing. So with this look that they gave to the doll, I feel like it's more realistic as like a party glam kind of a look. She just blends in with everybody. So I really do like this doll a lot, and she's fun to dress up and style. I haven't really done anything significant with her hair recently. I think I need to give her a little boil wash or something, but I just wanted to show her to you guys. I don't have any other dolls in my collection that have this exact same hair coloring, like mix with the light blonde and the red in this tone. The closest thing I have to this mix right now is the new Barbie Basics Leia doll. The red tone of that hair is still slightly different than this one. This is more like a pure red. Special thank you to Alfonso for letting me have this beautiful dolly's head, letting me bring her to life in my collection. She ain't going nowhere, but I just wanted to show her as a little bonus for you guys. Now let's get into the rest of the celebrity sculpts we're gonna cover in this episode, which are by Mattel. Okay, so here we have my Maureen, who is originally Queen Hippolyta, who has the face sculpt likeness of the actress that played her in those movies, the live action movies, and the actress's name is Connie Nielsen. You be the judge whether you think she actually looks like the real actress or not, but I think it's very close. Okay, so the version of her that I had was such a biatch trying to get the clothes off of that doll. The costume was like welded on. It was such a headache, especially the bodice part, like the plastic parts that were on the doll. It was just impossible trying to get it off. I don't even remember what happened to her original body. She did have a superhero made to move body, which comes with double joints, but the rotational parts of the joints are not there on those bodies. They have more muscular limbs, and these upper arms and the upper thighs, they don't rotate. That body, I mean, it has a nice sculpting, but I didn't like the limitations of the joints with that one, so I ended up rebodying her on just a plain old made to move. But here's a look at her face. Now, I can't remember how many versions of this doll exist. I don't know that this is the only one. There might be some other versions, I don't know. They should all be using the same face sculpt. I like that the features on the face are just very normal looking. She just looks like a normal, plain human, as close as you can get to a person for a Barbie doll, you know? At least when I got this doll, I didn't have a lot of characters in my collection that were like that. I had a lot of cartoony looking faces and very super glamorous looking faces, and I really like to have faces in my collection that just seem like plain Janes. Let's take a look at her from the side. There's really nothing too remarkable about this sculpt. She's got quite thin lips. Her nose has like a pretty distinct shape. I think she resembles the actress pretty well, not to like an uncanny scary degree, but I can see the base for what they used to build this sculpt around, so I think they did a pretty decent job. I don't think that I will probably add any more of this sculpt to my collection. She's the only one that I have with this face. And let me know if you have this doll in your collection. Was this doll ever on your radar? What did you think of her? She's got pretty long hair, so you can kind of style it whatever way that you want to. And it came with some braids that I took out. You can tell that her hair is kind of wavy back there. But she's a pretty interesting face, just very plain. You know what I haven't tried with this doll though? I really haven't tried to really like glam her up or dress her up a whole bunch, just to see like what kind of looks I can get out of her. I might challenge myself to do that because I'm realizing I have so many dolls in my collection that I never really bothered to restyle, make them display ready. They're just there. They're just in my collection. So maybe I'll do that with her. Now we're gonna take a quick look at my Gal Gadot face sculpts. I have two versions. I have a playline and a collector version. So let's start with the playline version. In my collection, I call her Adania, and that's her here. Let's take this hat off for a second so we can get a better look at your face. So this particular version of the Wonder Woman doll, I got in a 2-pack that came with Steve Trevor. This version, she's got a middle part, and she came with a really clunky body type that I didn't like. And those bodies that a lot of the Wonder Woman playline dolls came with had the miserably huge feet that don't fit into normal Barbie doll shoes. Nightmare. So of course I had to rebody her because her original body was useless for me. She is sculpted to the likeness of the real actress, so you tell me if you think that she resembles her. I think she does quite a bit. But I think the real actress is way prettier. They could have done a little bit more with the screening, I think, to really capture her beauty better, I think. But, I mean, you can tell that it's her. So this sculpt has a very distinct nose shape. The bridge of the nose, if you can see there, she's got that little, I don't know what you call that. It's like a little dip at the top, and then it comes out, and it just has a certain kind of curvature to the nose there that's very distinct to this face. So I really like things like that in doll sculpts. That really makes the sculpt stand out and recognizable apart from other sculpts. This one, the collector version, right? Pretty much the same deal, but the scaling of the head is slightly smaller. And this one appears to have an open mouth, but she really doesn't. The teeth there, it's just painted in, but it doesn't bother me because it's just such a small sliver of teeth showing that I don't really care about it. So I haven't bothered to fill it in. She does not have a real piercing. That's just puffy paint, faux piercing that I gave to her that I do with some of my dolls sometimes. But you'll see here with this doll, which is a little bit more defined, you see how that nose shape looks from the side. It's very distinct, even more so I think than the playline version. But yeah, these are supposed to be the same sculpts. Do you have either one of these sculpts? Maybe not this exact same version of the dolls, but do you have a playline version or a collector version of this face? I think they're very pretty, and the collector version I think looks a lot more like the actual actress does, and she just has a more elegant screening. Her face is a little bit different than the playline version that has bigger eyes. I like this version a lot better. Even though they're the same face, I feel like because of the way that the screening is, they do look like two different people. So in my collection, they're not the same person. This one, Adania over here, is the playline version, and then my collector version, I named her Estrella after one of my friends. So they're two different people, but these are the only two that I have. I think I did used to have the one with the blue dress, but I don't see her anywhere in mine. So I must have got rid of the doll. I don't know what I ever did with it, but I remember having it. Those are my two Gal Gadot face sculpts, or Wonder Woman face sculpts, whatever you want to call them. And then we're gonna take a look at the boys that came with these dolls. Ooh, don't fall, don't fall. Why do y'all always do this to me? Okay, so next we're gonna look at my boys that came with my Wonder Woman dolls. This one here is called Ricardo, and Ricardo is originally Steve Trevor from a Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman playset, and he has the face sculpt that is shaped to the likeness of Chris Pine, the actor. Now, my other version of him is this dude right here, and I call him Dakota. And Dakota is from another Wonder Woman 1984 set that came with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. So he's the one that came with the collector doll. And then the one before him is the one that came with the Playline doll. Now, as you can see, even though they do have the same sculpt, perhaps you can tell why I ended up giving them two different names and identities. They do look similar, of course, but in my eyes, they look different enough to consider them two different people. Like, when I look at Dakota, I see this spaced out, kind of zoned out dude who's very laid back and chill. And then when I look at Ricardo, he just looks very militant and serious. Clearly, the screenings are very different. The eye shapes are totally different, and so are their eyebrows. And of course, one has molded hair and the other one has rooted hair, so they're very different looking, even though they're actually supposed to be the exact same character with the same actor playing these characters. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's about it. I like the facial expression on him better because he just seems like he has more character, but I love that they rooted this one's hair. So I don't know what to make of it. It is what it is. I gotta do something with his hair though, because it's looking kind of crazy without his hat on. Hello. All right, let's put this back on you because you look so out of place. I mean, I think it's really interesting that this guy just looks so nonchalant, and this guy looks like he needs to have the entire analysis and report on his desk by Monday, 7 a.m. And they're supposed to be the exact same character, the same doll. This one came on a crappy molded body that had it was just horrible. And so I ended up rebodying him to a standard Ken's body type. And then I believe this guy already had this body because I think both he and Estrella, both of them came with articulation, if I'm not mistaken. I did place Estrella on a made to move body, and I'm pretty sure she didn't come with one. But it was nice that they both had articulation, and I think when I got them, they were on sale, because I'm pretty sure this set was kind of expensive when they first came out, but I think I got them at half price when I ended up purchasing them. I can't really remember, it was a while ago. They have a very distinct looking jawline, like it's almost like, you know, kind of like pointy here at the bottom and squared off. Very distinct, and they also have very, very slight wannabe dimples in the cheeks as well, with a distinct looking nose shape. So these guys' face sculpts are quite easy to recognize if you happen to see it, but I highly doubt that they're going to be using these sculpts again to do any like plain old collectible Ken dolls. Generally, Mattel doesn't tend to use sculpts that they intended to be certain characters or like real people as generic sculpts for different kinds of dolls that aren't supposed to be those characters. So I'd be surprised if we see these again, unless they have a reason to make more Steve Trevor characters. But I'm glad I got them when I did. And these are my only two in my collection. It definitely makes them seem a little bit more unique that they're just so different looking from each other. So lastly, we're gonna take a look at this guy. This is an old ass doll, okay? This one, I don't have a name for him in my collection, I don't think. This is MC Hammer with the exclusive cassette tape that I got on, I think I got him on eBay years ago. Obviously, he's supposed to look like the rapper MC Hammer, and he does. He really does. He's even got his famous rat tail here at the back of his head, although it's molded on, which is hilarious. But he's got it. He's got these little sides shaved on his head. Like, they really went in on this doll. The only change that I made to him was that I gave him a new hairline, because his actual hairline that he came with started way back here. And I was like, bruh, like, it's a lot of forehead action going on up in her. So I filled some of that in myself. But other than that, he's pretty much the way that he came. They really did capture the likeness of MC Hammer with this guy. And he doesn't look like someone who's like super duper young. You know, he looks kind of almost like middle-aged. Unfortunately, he's still on his original body with the snap bent knees and the forever bent arms, which is not really something that I like about this doll. I think I only got him because I needed more black male characters for projects I was doing at the time. It was so hard to find good male sculpts that have brown skin tones at the time. So he ended up in my collection, but I do like him, so I am not planning on getting rid of him. But I don't know. I'm thinking maybe at some point I might try to modify his head to get him onto a regular standard articulated body perhaps, but I still don't know for sure because I don't know if I like this doll enough to go through all of that just to customize him and let him have joints, because I don't really put him on display. He's not really a fashion doll for me. He's more just a character for like when I do my videos, when I do my skits and things like that, which I haven't done in so long. It's just like, I don't know when I'm gonna be doing that again. So he's just kind of just on standby in my collection for now. So what do you guys think of these faces that we went over today? Have you ever seen these dolls on my channel previously? Were you aware that I even had these dolls? Do you own any of these faces in your collection? And which ones do you have? Which ones do you want to get? Now that some time has passed since I've purchased these dolls, I'm pretty sure that all of these guys are discontinued dolls. So if you were going to look for them to purchase, it's highly unlikely you'll be able to find them at retail prices. So on the subject of modifying and customizing, if, like me, you like to swap heads on your dolls a lot, I really suggest that you take a look at the tutorial video that I posted where I show you guys how you can modify your dolls' neck pegs on their bodies to do what these Barbie Basics dolls do, which is that they have very easy pop-off heads. And it's not their heads that are the gimmick, it's the peg here. So if you can transform your existing doll neck pegs to function like this, then you can basically do this with any of your existing dolls. Here's an older doll whose head I have here, and you can see when you look at the holes on the bottom of the doll's heads, they're about the same size. This one's a little bit bigger. They're pretty much similar sizes. So when I try to put this doll's head on this doll's body, you'll see no problem. It works just fine. Obviously, it's not the right skin complexion. She matches Claudette. It works, okay? So we can actually modify all of our doll bodies to do this exact same thing. And then we have the freedom of taking their heads off like this to swap them whenever we want, which will come in handy when you have times like this when you want to redress your doll and like this, these clothes have no closure here, you know? So if you want to easily be able to dress the doll in and out of their clothes without having to struggle with a doll, sometimes you have to pull it up over their heads if they don't have the proper kinds of closures. And this makes it so much easier to do that when you can just pop the head off and be done with it. I'm struggling because this is not supposed to come off this way. It's actually supposed to be slid over the legs of the dolls, but you know what I'm trying to say, okay? There are some clothes like this where you have to go over the doll's head in order to put it on the dolls properly. Like some of the hoodies that I have to do that with. So go ahead and check out my tutorial video. I'll have it linked somewhere in the description box so you can find it easily. Then you can do this exact same thing with your own dolls at home, and you don't have to buy Barbie Basics bodies in order to do it. If you are planning to add any of these Barbie Basics dolls to your collection, then make sure that you are looking in my description boxes also for the product links that will take you over to some listings where you can purchase the dolls from this collection, all 5 of them, or whatever ones are available at the time when you're watching this video. Go over and check it out, and if you do use my links, then you will be supporting this channel indirectly by allowing me to earn a small commission from those sales at no extra cost to you, the consumer. So thank you so much for everybody who has been doing that already and helping to support this channel. Well, that's it for our doll sculpt study today with our celebrity edition. Of course, there will be another celebrity edition coming up soon, so make sure that you are subscribed. My name is Gypsy. You're watching Broken Dolly TV, and until we meet in the next video, have a dolly day.